You know what? We've seen a lot of changes in the market, and this year has been much stronger than last year. I do see the drop in interest rate is going to increase sales. I don't think the prices are going to go up because they've gone up so much since the recession, but I do think it's going to stimulate the real estate market, and it's really going to drive sales.
At the same time, you're also seeing margins compress. I mean, the costs are going higher because of these tariffs.
I mean, the tariffs are real, so the cost of construction is going up, and just because I'm spending more money to fix up a house doesn't mean I get to sell it for more, right? So that money's coming out of my profit.
I was surprised that home flipping generally is at a 3-year low right now. What's been going on? All of those factors contributing? Less profitable? Are there too many people involved? What's happening?
You know, a lot of different things are going on. A lot of people have entered the market. They're buying and selling properties. But, you know, a lot of people took their homes off the market because they couldn't sell. Last year, the market was sluggish. And a lot of people lost a lot of money trying to flip houses because they didn't have the right education and they went into projects that they weren't prepared for. So today, the flippers that I'm seeing that are still in the game know what they're doing.
Where are the best flips? Are they distress sales? Are they foreclosures? Are they? Do you search for the best flips by neighborhood, by zip code? What?
So that's interesting. For me, I'll say I'll buy real estate anywhere that I can get a deal. So if you took me anywhere in the U.S. today, you drop me off in a city or a town, I'm flipping houses in that city or town. So I'm buying foreclosures, off-market properties. Finding them on the MLS is really competitive right now because everybody is looking on the active market. So my specialty is off-market deals.
I've heard that people, you have people in other countries, certainly other cities, who watch these websites just waiting to pounce. How has that dynamic changed the market?
You know, it's a competitive world out there. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and it's all about supply and demand. And when you have a super high demand and a low supply, it's going to increase activity on the property. So before going into a property, I might be 1 or 2 people bidding on a house, and I've seen it recently as high as 10 and 15 people. So I've started to walk away from a lot of the properties that are on the open market, and I only specialize in finding properties that have not hit the market.
What's a typical rate of return?
Typical rate of return, I normally go for a net profit of about 10 to 12% in about 120 days. And if I can turn that a few times a year, that's a pretty good
120 days?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Will you come finish my kitchen renovation, please?
Still going on.
It's still going on.
I'm going to say one thing. When it's your own house, add 5,000 days.
Add 5,000 days.
It's always the worst.
And many thousands of dollars.
And knock off the rate of return.
Knock off the rate of return.
Oh, yeah. The worst flips I've ever done are my own
houses you did.
Oh,
yeah,
every time. Every time.
In this housing environment, Tarek, who's the winner? Renters? Buyers? It doesn't sound like it's necessarily flippers or sellers.
Well, no, it's still great for flipping. You know, I'm flipping close to 30 houses right now. I'm buying a lot of rental properties. And I think overall the market's great for everybody that's involved. I mean, you have super low interest rates. The housing, you know, people need to live, people need to rent, people need to buy. And because the price has gone up so much, it's created a large demand for rental housing. And therefore, investors are now capitalizing on buying rental properties. So I'm a big believer in buying income-producing assets.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I recall seeing a lot of the properties you worked on were Southern California, Orange County, L.A. area. Is that still as ripe an area for flipping, or has the geographic center of gravity moved somewhere else because the prices there have gone up so much?
You know, it's a competitive world out there, and there are a lot more investors in the hotter markets. The L.A., the New York, the San Francisco. I mean, those are really competitive markets, but. You know, flipping houses is flipping houses. There are deals everywhere in every city across the nation.
You're worried now it's going to get, like, way over the top? I mean, because we haven't even seen the impact now of rates. We're looking even today at new lows, basically.
I mean, the interest rates they're lower than I don't even remember seeing.
But are stock market declines, is that a concern for you in terms of sales?
Absolutely. Everything affects something else. So they're all intertwined some way or another. So one thing's doing good, the other thing might be affected by it. But at the end of the day, for the housing market, the interest rate drop is really good. People are saving money. They're stimulating the economy, and people own houses, and that's a great thing.